Welcome back into the line. Talk 99.5 on YouTube. Real Talk 995 TV. If you tune in now, you will see a couple handsome fellas sitting here doing a radio show. I think we have cart guy potential.
Oh, I do. I know I do.
I think we definitely have some cart guy potential.
Yeah. Everybody seems to love my beard.
Yeah.
I get a lot of compliments on it,
Yeah.
which is still weird.
Can I touch it?
No, you may not.
Does no really mean no?
It does. At least when it comes to my beard.
Fine. Be that way. Okay.
I'm going to have to start working on that, getting it ready for that beard competition.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. The Renegade Beard Club.
Mm-hmm.
Friends of ours, Chance Walton and them, are going to be having a beard off
Beard off.
over at Solaria.
I think the winner should have to, shave it off.
The winner should have to shave his
Yeah.
beard.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very much of a prize.
I mean, it'd be different, though.
Would be different.
You know?
Would be different. A little bit of breaking news. NASCAR star Greg Biffle has made his final left turn. He just perished in a plane crash in North Carolina. And Biffle was a good dude, man. Lots of charitable stuff and lots of charitable giving. And he's going to be sorely missed by the entirety of the NASCAR family, community, and his family. So thoughts and prayers out to the Biffle family. Looks like his private jet crashed while landing.
Man, it is hard for me to want to get onto a plane nowadays.
Yeah.
Private, commercial, whatever. No.
I still kind of want to get on a private plane and go play golf and fly home.
I mean, I would take a private plane over commercial right now.
Sure.
But man, I mean, I traveled like 40 weeks a year when I was
that's a
consulting, and I don't like flying.
Right.
Every week, twice a week, I'd get on that plane. I'm like, man, I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. But once you're in there, it's good to go. But
205-545-9950. Our big stupid question today was, do you like breakfast better at breakfast or better at dinner? Also, we're giving you the opportunity to call and shout out your small business. Drive people your way for the rest of the Christmas season. Give them great reason to not spend money online and to better help stimulate your local economy. So there's that. And Dixter's on the phone. What's up, brother?
Hey, man, my favorite is breakfast anytime.
Breakfast
I don't care if
anytime.
it's 2 o'clock in the morning after a long night out on square dancing and buck dancing and all that kind of stuff. But Sambo's used to be the place that stayed open late at night. They really had a good breakfast, and I was going to tell you, I got to saying about, you remember the little half-pint milks you could get? I remember when I was in school, it cost 4 cents for a carton of milk early in the morning when you'd get to school,
Right.
if you wanted one. And I had a problem when I was in the first grade. My teacher asked me if I failed the first grade. I thought, why is that? But I look now at the pictures of our class. I was a good 12 to 14 inches taller than everybody else. And I finally realized, about the 5th grade, I said, Lord, I said, she thought I was a rerun on first grade because she thought I'd fail because I was so big, Of course, when I was born, I don't weigh 16 pounds, But
Holy crap. You were a 16-pound baby?
what?
yeah, I was 16 pounds.
You had to have been
But I was
twins and ate the
last
other
of
one.
6,
Wow.
And I was having a problem with a guy in the 3rd grade that kept messing with me out on the playground. The Ferris wheel would go round and round, you'd hang off and everything. And he kept picking on me, and I told my brother that was a couple years older, man, he said, well, you know what? Here's some change. He said, let's fill you up with chocolate milk. And he said, when he hit you, sure enough, he hit me in the stomach, and I puked chocolate milk all over.
You showed him. That's funny.
I hadn't thought about that in 40 years. And
That
y'all got
is-
talking about what you don't no longer have or see no more. And I got thinking about that. You know, we used to have them little half pint milks that you could get for 4 cents. You know, that was back in the days over in Columbus, Mississippi.
Listen, I am a
Yeah.
milk connoisseur. It probably is my favorite drink. And there is something about milk out of a carton and milk out of a styrofoam cup that is just the pinnacle of milk drinking.
My favorite thing about the carton is when you was done with it, you close it up and you stomp on it.
Right.
So loud. I showed that to the girls the other day. And
Yeah,
I was
how to
like,
pop it off.
yeah, how to pop. I was like, you probably don't want to do this, but here's what we used to do with them. Catherine's like,
Them yeah. And orange just hit different out of that paper carton too.
The
Yeah.
milk has to be cold though. Like
Yeah.
I want it cold,
Oh,
cold,
yeah.
cold.
Yep.
The fresh milk is what's great. I used to date a girl that her daddy owned a dairy, and I'd go over to her house. When you sat down to eat dinner with them, you didn't serve tea or Coke or anything. You drank milk. You know,
It does the body good.
That's what they had.
Does the body
And
good.
fresh milk, as long as it's cold, it's really good. You know, you got to keep it almost like 32, 33 degrees, you know, to keep it from freezing.
Right.
But, man, good, cold, fresh, the real milk with all the other stuff in it, you know, that's the best if you can get it. you know.
Absolutely.
I tried to buy a cow, and my wife said, no, I ain't milking that, you know.
Dexter, we appreciate you as always, brother. Merry Christmas and thanks for the them chips are
That's no
flying.
problem.
Them
Don't
chips are
worry
flying
about
off
that.
the shelf in the people's pantry, brother. We appreciate you very much.
All right, man. Y'all
Talk to you
be
soon.
good,
Yes, sir.
and we'll holler at you later.
Thanks,
Amen.
Dexter.
Peace. We are joined by a very special person from a very special organization. JD, why don't you make that introduction?
So today we've got Stu.
Dun, dun, dun.
You go by Stuart or Stu?
I just go by Stu now, so there's no reason to keep on, explaining, my full name. It's just Stu, and that's how everybody knows me. So
Fair enough.
we'll just keep it at Stu.
Stu works for and helps run Covenant Rescue Group.
That's great.
Longtime door kicker, prior law enforcement. I have had the pleasure of getting to know these guys, and Stu doesn't come off as very fun when you first meet him, but dude's funny. He's very, very funny. Does a lot of great stuff for CRG. What is your role over there?
Currently, I'm the chief of training and operations at Covenant Rescue Group. So I help develop a curriculum for our organization that we take to law enforcement agencies and teach them how to combat child sex exploitation and human trafficking. I will say this: I underestimated how many people were actually going to be listening to this. Like, this is like live radio. Like, I feel like this is the big leagues for me. And so on the way over here, I listened. You guys had 2 callers between the time I left the office and the time I came over here, and I was like, oh no. I was like, people are gonna hear this. I was like, I need to be locked in, but I don't feel locked in.
There's
right
at
now,
least
so.
8 people out there listening right now.
Upwards of 10 to 12.
Yeah,
That's-
there's tens of people listening right now.
That's enough to make me nervous.
Well, we
So-
were live the other night when you were on at the studio or
Well,
at the
for
store.
for some reason, like, it didn't hit me that was live radio and people were listening to that. But on the way over, I'm listening to it in my truck on FM, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going out into the world.
It's fun, and I don't know what it is, but like I talk to when I talk to people about our show Monday through Friday, Breaking Bread, radio, like they're like, oh, you have a podcast. I'm like- and I'm like-
every single
I'm
time.
like, no, what
No,
part of
yeah.
I'm actually now? Yes, we podcast the episodes.
It gets turned into a podcast.
But no, we're actually on your radio dial,
Right.
live. Give me my flowers.
I can't even begin to quantify the number of people that are like, so how's your podcast going? I don't know. I don't have a podcast. I'm JD. I'm on Breaking Bread Radio from 6 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
We were actually able to get on the radio. We didn't have to.
Right.
We didn't have to just sit in a room and record something and send it out and hope that somebody listened to it.
Yeah, looking at you, Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I will say this: prior to this, my claim to fame was I was on a podcast that 3 people saw. So this is a pretty big leap for me. Like, I feel like I'm going to another level of, in my adult life another level of experience.
Well, it really is just about, getting better every day, right?
That's
and and given what CRG does, I think this is a good platform.
This is a good platform, and it's a great opportunity for people to call us 205-545-9950 and ask Stu direct questions about Covenant Rescue Group and what and why and how and all the things.
I can go ahead and expand on that a little bit if y'all want me to, exactly what all that stuff entails.
Well, we're going to do that, but
we got to
catch a break.
Cool.
And but when we get back, we will absolutely go there. You are listening to the Taste Buds, filling in for Skippy McLean on the line. Talk 99.5. We'll be back. Such a great practical use of a tremolo pedal
God bless you.
for the opening riffs of this of this song. The tremolo effect is kind of that wobbly noise of the string that you
That I didn't hear.
You did hear it.
Okay.
You did hear it.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
Carrie knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not wrong.
He plays his bass with 2 strings.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That's it? Just 2 strings?
Just
or
2.
It's got, well, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I think.
No, it is. For
It
sure.
usually got like 5 strings on it?
At least 4.
Okay.
Makes it pretty easy to play, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
That's kind of bass I could get behind right there, because that's the problem with all that. There's just too much going on. The drums, anybody that plays the drums blows me. It blows me away. Like I can't. There is way too much going on.
You have great.
In the
You have
drums.
great size. You have great size hands for guitar.
I feel like that's another short joke.
It's
But,
not. It's like part of my issue with being crazy effective up and down the fretboard
Those
are
meat
the
paws you got?
size of my hands. It makes chording bars very difficult.
Huh.
But
There's just too much going on. There are too many combinations of. I can't.
for like I've watched you type, and like 6 months of guitar practice, I think you'd be shredding just with how fast your fingers move.
That's an interesting point, actually, because I can type 10, 12 words a minute.
At least. At least. I mean, I know if they remake the movie 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton, you're going to be somebody's office something somewhere, just typing away.
I can't wait.
Enough of that. We have a guest.
Stu, Covenant Rescue Group.
Just Stu. He prefers Stu.
Mm-hmm. STEW. No,
You're asking me about a spelling word?
Yeah.
that's true. That's
Really?
So, how long have you been with CRG?
Man, I've been with them since carry the 3 since February of this year.
That's it?
Yeah, not even a year yet.
Are you serious,
yeah. So
bro? I thought you were there for from the beginning.
no. I came in and I inherited a bunch of greatness from a guy named Mike Rebels, who I have known for a while. And you're laughing because
Yeah.
I know you know Mike.
Yeah.
You know Mike. You know his personality, and so he came. The reason why I seem like I've got it together is because he already had. Him and Jared had already structured a bunch of stuff before I got there, and I've literally just made some minor changes here and there, or some additions.
Okay.
As they were needed.
Oh man, I really thought you'd been there for a hot minute. Maybe not since the beginning.
Now
but,
I've known Jared and I've known Mike. I've known Mike since 2010,
Okay.
and then I've known Jared since 2013. So our wives actually became friends, and then they made us be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I feel like right now, normally like people here, for those of y'all that don't know, he's former Special Operations Navy SEAL, and hey, I got to be that guy's friend. I just want it to be known I had no interest in being his friend. Okay, our wives made us be friends.
I like.
Yeah, and so,
I like the clarification right there.
yeah.
You know
like
what?
that dude's too pretty to hang out with. I don't want to be near him.
That's right. That's right.
I love the fact though that clearly Stu is a great teammate, because in a short period of time he has inherited some responsibility that clearly they thought that he could handle. But like in the restaurant business, a lot of times when somebody comes in that's more than capable, they kind of want to come get into what's going on and change the system to fit their spec. I think we could do this better. Stu came in, learned what they had going on, realized that it wasn't broken, so there wasn't a whole lot of need to fix it, but adapted it to make it a little bit. And that's really what a great teammate does, is just comes in and becomes part of the team.
Either that, or he is worried about getting stomped by a guy that wears flip flops all of the time. I don't think I've seen Mike in anything other than flip
Yeah,
flops.
the thing about Mike is such a wild card because he's so mean sometimes. Like, a lot of people don't know that about Mike Rebels. He's actually a super mean guy, unless he likes you, and then he's just a little bit less mean. And so he's always just I feel like he's also the type of guy I just feel like would win at all costs.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And
Oh,
so
he'll tell you that. Like,
yeah,
that's
and so
maybe the second thing he told me.
And so there's nothing that's off the table. Like, your family would have to live with the embarrassment that Mike Rebels beat you to death with a Sunkist bottle or something like
Right,
that. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And so I've just tried to stay on his good side because I just don't want my family to be embarrassed with the way that it turned out.
It's all for the kids.
So-
That's right.
So he just recently moved, but he lived like right around the corner from me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't
That's
know
a
that.
good guy to have right around the corner, man.
So I didn't know that until the
Yeah.
week before he moved.
Mhm.
I found that out at the SWAT training that we went out there and did
Yeah.
in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
You're like a quarter of a mile away from me.
Yeah, from what I understand, Mike is living out along a dream of his right now. And,
Yeah.
and I'm happy for him, and I'm happy that he spent as much time at CRG as he did, because I mean, I was really set up whenever I got there.
So that's all. What did you do before coming into CRG?
So prior to CRG, I was a police officer for 15 years. Served at 2 different agencies. During that time, I filled various roles: firearms instructor, FTO, SWAT team. I was also on at the last agency, I was on the crime suppression unit for a while, and we did a lot of things in reference to like gang intelligence, gun crime, street level narcotics investigations. And then I also got to work. A lot of people laugh whenever I tell them this, but I was also on the community relations unit there, and that was actually it was actually pretty fun, because we ended up doing some stuff that I never would have thought that a community relations unit would have been doing. And then I came to work for CRG in February. Also, I was in the military for about 9 years. I was in the Alabama National Guard. I was with the 1st of the 167th Bravo Company out of Pelham.
Okay. You make any trips overseas?
I did.
The old sandbox?
Yeah, we went to Afghanistan in 2012, 2013. So did some law enforcement-esque stuff over there. We did a lot of personal security detail while we were over there for individuals that were helping train the Afghan police and Afghan army. So we were essentially just their movement team while I was over there.
So you're pretty much made for the role at CRG.
I mean,
you've been in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I'll say this: it hasn't been difficult to adapt to. You know, I'll put it that way. The things that CRG is doing, you know, as far as training goes, and as far as in partnership with law enforcement agencies, has been something that you know, previous experiences have allowed me just to, I guess, assume those duties with relative ease.
I'm interested just because that we got the TVs on here in the studio, and having a law enforcement background completely unrelated to Covenant Rescue Group. Any thoughts on President Trump's desire to issue an executive order reclassifying cannabis in America?
You know, that's a big debate. I know there's been a lot of legal changes here, especially in the past year with the concealed carry law in the state of Alabama. To me, as far as I know, people will make the argument, hey, look, it's similar to alcohol, like they're not hurting people. You know, whatever the case may be, they want tax money or whatever the case may be. My experience as a law enforcement officer has always been that is still always on the street level. It is always connected to harder drugs. And so the unit that I was in at the last agency, the crime suppression unit, we found a lot of heroin and a lot of fentanyl, a lot of cocaine, a lot of meth with investigations that started with marijuana. And so to me, you know, whenever they talk about legalizing it, and with my experiences, I just don't think that it is productive for society because of all the things that I know that it is associated with. Illegal guns, you know, people that have, you know, felony warrants. It's always associated with that criminal element. And so I'm not for the legalization of cannabis.
There you go.
That's fair.
That's very fair. All right. 2.5 hours down. Well, 2.5 hours down, 1.5 hours to go. My math wasn't mathing.
It's all right.
You're listening to the Taste Buds on the line, talking to 9-5. We'll be back. Welcome back in to the line. Carrie, is this Hoobastank?
It is the Dishwalla.
Dishwalla. I don't know. Saw Dishwalla open for live at Sloss Furnace.
Really?
It's quite the excellent show.
Oh,
Not
I
so
bet.
much Dishwalla, because like this is the song that they have that everybody knows. So once they played it, everybody was like, "Okay, are y'all done?
When's live coming out?
Can we bring live out now?" But it's still a good show.
I can imagine.
It was the only time that I'd ever seen Dishwalla. But he stood. I do remember him standing on the bass drum, bouncing up and down, telling us to tell him all of our thoughts on God because he'd really like to meet her.
Yeah, it's a weird line.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back into the line, Taste Buds. Filling in for Skippy McLean, hanging out with Stu from Covenant Rescue Group. He's one of those American badasses that do awesome things to keep children safe and bring them home, and not just children, lots of adults exploited and trafficked and all those things. And we're appreciative of his time today and every day. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Those words were amazing.
They had sounds.
They did. You said earlier the math wasn't mathing. Sometimes the words don't work,
No,
you know. But
but I don't ever hesitate to say them.
No, we don't. No, again, joined by Stu from Covenant Rescue Group. I forgot where we left off. Because we started talking at the break.
Yeah,
And so I feel like I got a lot more information.
I think we had been talking about military service, kind of career in military service.
Right.
So law
And so you were what the Marine Corps would call a grunt,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
In the National Guard.
yeah.
And then went to the sandbox for a hot minute, trained some police officers over there, and then came back. And you during the break, you were saying you were finishing school. You were at university. If we were in Europe,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Higher learning,
Yeah.
higher education.
was that a criminal justice background
It was not. It was. I started out as nutrition hospitality management.
Okay.
Whenever I was there, because I thought that I was going to get into the health and wellness field, and so
Or a hotel.
yeah, or a hotel planning dinner events. Right, you could see me doing that. That's
100%.
Would I not be good at that?
Y'all get it? No, that's the wrong seat. Get in your right seat.
Hey, listen, you say that though. Like I said, ours was more concentrated on it's nutrition and hospitality management, but it was more concentrated on the nutrition side of it. But we had to go through etiquette classes. Like I'm talking about the forks going this side, the knives going this side, like setting dinner.
That probably wasn't a bad thing though.
I mean,
like during it, you're probably
mean,
like, "This is dumb," but like looking back,
yeah. I mean, it was super impressive. Like right after I had the class, because I was able to be like, "Hey guys, let me show you guys something. You know, you guys are Neanderthals over here. The guys I lived with, I was like, y'all are Neanderthals. Like look
bunch
at
of
this,
knuckle
like,
draggers.
Yeah.
Put that napkin in your lap right now, sir.
That's right. I'm gonna bring us up a class, guys, so that the people on the block stop looking at us, weird. Okay, we can't be shooting bows in the driveway and stuff like that. We need to be cultured over here. Right?
We're using 2 forks for dinner from now on.
That's right. It lasted about 2 seconds, and they were like, "Bro, we ain't got time for this."
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's how it. And so I switched. So while we were talking, I was in the National Guard, and whenever I was about 75% done with my college, I was like, this isn't for me. Like, this is boring. I really wanted to go in the military. So when we talked about that whole process, I was going to look at active duty recruiters, and my mom actually talked me into going to the National Guard because she really wanted me to finish college. Plus, at that point in time, that was 2008, and they had a big push overseas where they were putting more troops in, and so they were offering bonuses on the National Guard side. So not only did you get the education stuff, but you got a little bonus too, right? And
Do you remember what you spent that on?
Let's see,
Forks?
lodging in school is what, and that's actually the truth. I know y'all are gonna make fun of me, but it's actually lodging in school is what I spent it on. So,
Wow.
so
I love responsible people.
yeah,
Right?
So I get back, and from basic training. And I'm like, man, I'm ready to get out of here. So I walked into the counselor's office, and I'm like, what can I get like in the next 2 semesters? I said, I'm ready to leave. I said, I don't want to be here. I said, this bores me, for lack of a better term. And she goes, if you just get 120 credits, you can get a general studies degree. And I said, what can I do with that? And she goes, I don't know, but you'll have a degree in general studies. And I said, yeah, cool. Sign me up with that. So the next semester and a half, all my classes were like football players. Like at the university, at the university I went to, so I'm walking in and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. But it was like underwater basket weaving. Like, it was like some real like watered down. I even had guys that would come up and be like, yo man, sign me in. And I'm like, yeah, dude, what's your name? And he's like, you know what my name is? I'm number 45 on Saturdays or whatever. So I would look it up. I'd be like, oh yeah, Daniel Johnson is here or whatever. So that's what I got. That's what my degree ended up being in, was general studies.
So responsible with money, but not with the education system.
True.
Right?
It still counts though. It still
Right.
counts. I found out that whenever I got out, it still counted for incentives and things like that. Whenever I got into law enforcement, so.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
No, I just meant like you're signing the players in.
Oh yeah.
Part of the problem.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think the statute of limitations is up on that now. I felt threatened, and I felt like I had to for sure. Like I didn't feel like it was an option. I felt like I was.
Where'd you go?
I went to the University of Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was in 2009. So Saban won his first championship in 2009. So it wasn't like
He was just doing his part for the Tide, man.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It wasn't like it was like 07, 08, where people were like, I think that's an Alabama football player. No, 09, everybody was like, yep, that's the Crimson Tide right there.
Right. You
Like
didn't want Saban coming in, jumping on your desk, being
Dude,
like, why did you not?
I didn't want to be the reason why Alabama didn't win the Natty. Okay, I didn't want to, because that would get blasted in Tuscaloosa. This guy's the reason why we didn't win the national championship. So
This is why our GPA is so low.
That's
because
right.
I had to go to class.
that's right. That's right.
They actually had to prove they didn't know
That's
stuff.
right. We got a responsible guy over there that's bucked the system.
That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And so you got back from, obviously you survived Afghanistan. You see
Yeah.
any cool stuff over there?
Man, not really. It was pretty low key. I remember one time we got some about the only thing that we had that was super exciting was we got some rockets shot in on us one time. We were just at a FOB and they were it was right next to us. I can't even. I think it might have been like FOB Lightning, but we're right next to a city in Afghanistan, man. And I had to that date I had never been shot at. And so, we're sitting there like in the middle of the FOB just talking, and all of a sudden we start hearing incoming or whatever. Well, I think the unit that was there was maybe like the 82nd or the 101st. And obviously they just have a lineage of being in hot combat zones. And so they all know what's going on. We started hearing this, and I'm looking up, man, and I'm like, what is this noise? And I look around, and everybody's just running all over the place, and all of a sudden, like, this thing impacts and just it explodes, right? And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, they're shooting rockets at it.
Those aren't contrails.
Hey, sign up for this.
I was like, oh my god. So I turn around, dude. Everybody on my team is underneath this 18-wheeler trailer, right? And you know how big an 18-wheeler trailer is? Well, whenever you're getting either rocketed or mortared, like that 18-wheeler trailer becomes like a post stand, right? So they're all underneath that. So I go running over there with, dude, we got this interpreter over there, and I hook slide in there, and he is kicking me. He's like, there's no room. And I'm like, you better make some room. So I still remember what that guy smells like.
You
Like,
better
we
go
were
talk
super-
to your
like,
people and
man,
tell them to stop shooting rockets at us.
Dude, I was so close to that guy. I mean, it was like we became close enough friends. Like, I feel like I need to send him a Christmas card. Like, that's how good of friends we were after that whole thing. And we had a talk. I was like, you don't ever do that to me again. I said, you make room.
Right.
So
That's insane. But
Did you
yeah,
eat anything good over there? That obviously wasn't.
Listen, the bread and the rice over there that they make, and the rice has like raisins and stuff like that in it. It's very good. I could never bring myself to eat any of the meat. For some reason, I was just like, I feel like in America we have super good hygiene, and sometimes you just don't eat meat even in America. And I was like, I'm not doing that.
I feel like you and AJ would get along.
That's right. I didn't want my family to get the Red Cross message that Stu went down not as a hero, but from salmonella, and they were just too far out to get the medicine.
Hey man, aren't war benefits the same? I mean, like if you die in combat, you die in combat. Doesn't mean if you caught a bullet or if you caught some bad hero meat, then I mean,
that's so funny.
your benefits got to be the same.
Yeah.
They're not going to take the time to strip you from that.
Yeah, for sure.
Almost, that'd be almost as bad as getting beat to death by a Sunkist bottle.
Yeah, dude. Listen, those are things. Those are things that those are things that you don't want. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I think we're coming up on a break here, but so 15 years in the police department. That's after Afghanistan.
So I did 2 before I got deployed. Also, I got married to my wife before I got deployed, so we'd been married for about 6 months before they were like, "Hey, man,
You were
good
one of
news.
those guys, huh?
Good news, we're going." I thought I was going to do the chivalrous thing. I was like, man, I was like, you know, the SGLI. I was like, you know, I want to give that to somebody that needs it. And I was like, this girl that I love needs it, and so I'm gonna hook you up. And she was like, you don't have to do that, like, you know. You don't have to go over there and be a hero. You could just come back.
Right,
I was like,
right.
I don't know. We'll see. You know, I'm trying to act hard. You're like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
SGI being the what is it? The life insurance service,
Yeah,
service and
yeah.
guard or whatever. Life insurance.
life insurance.
Was that like was $400,000 or two?
Man, I want to say the more I think about it and the more people I talked to, I think it was 400,000. I want to, for some reason, I thought it was $1 million whenever we were going over.
So I feel like what happens is it is $1 million.
Mhm.
The government signs up for $1 million life insurance policy and
Yeah.
pays you $400,000 and then keeps the other $600K.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens there.
Well,
It's
they gotta
almost
have.
certainly-
They gotta get the sign-on bonus money from somewhere.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
for sure. So I don't know exactly how much it was, but I just knew that I was doing the nightly thing, which was trying to give it to my wife. So
Man, that's not, I mean,
that was
that's not
I
terrible.
will say this. That was not the only reason why we got married. I just want to put that.
She
out
was
there.
also, but I'm just playing.
Yeah, she,
I'm not putting your business on the
I-
street like
I
that.
love her, and she is great. She's a great mother to our kids, and so that was not the only reason why we got married.
So, I'm glad you clarified that. I'm sure everybody in listening land was like, this guy.
you have to clarify that, and so I wanted to make sure that was clarified.
Well, I mean, if nothing else, there is going to be somebody who's going to call your wife and be like, "Did you hear what Stu said on the radio today?"
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like
Probably-
she'd laugh.
Probably that guy from Indiana, Dexter, is probably gonna call her and be like, "Hey,
Man, listen, we've been talking to Dexter for a long time. He's a lot of things. A rat.
Yeah.
That's not one of them. I can assure you that. Hey, I'm gonna do my best Nell Carter impersonation here, and we're gonna give me a break because we got to. All right. You did. Never mind. You didn't. You never watched. Give me a break.
Nope.
Nose in the dough. But there's nobody home. It was good living with you. Ow. What up? Welcome back into the line. Talk 99.5, the Taste Buds, plus Carrie hanging out as Andrew McLean is skin diving somewhere off the coast of Bali, enjoying himself. He's finished sucking his leaves.
He's doing that again, huh?
Yeah.
Man, must be nice to be a.
He's a big Bali skin diver.
Yeah,
Every chance he gets.
making all that money.
Yeah.
Doing a radio show.
Chomping down wild-haired beef jerky and just doing a little skin diving in a Speedo next to his beautiful wife, Trish. Good times.
I knew I made a mistake going to consulting.
Good times. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well.
Radio's where the money is.
Apparently.
Clearly. They let you up elevators and everything. Get your own little fob.
They definitely don't kick you down the stairs.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Will and JD and Carrie and Stu from Covenant Rescue Group. If somebody has been hiding under a rock and doesn't know, Stu, what is it that you guys do at Covenant Rescue Group?
Well, we provide training to law enforcement to help them develop the skills that they need to fight child sex exploitation and human trafficking. Is essentially what we do in a nutshell.
You do it very well.
Well, I appreciate that. I think a lot of that too, though, is we have worked with some outstanding law enforcement agencies that are very motivated to go out there and, number one, call us and get the training lined up, and then they're also motivated to go out and actually run a real operation that impacts their community, and they're very attentive. They're very appreciative whenever we come in and give them this training, and the excitement level is high. It's a good morale builder for the agency, and they go out and they do a great job. And we have been, I would say, successful this year.
Is there costs associated with the training that the other organizations that you guys are training?
No, the agency incurs no cost.
Well, y'all are a 501c3, right?
We are.
Okay.
We're a nonprofit, so we run off of donations. And having a law enforcement background, that was also always an issue in law enforcement. Is, hey, look, how much is this going to cost us to send you to this training? Regardless of whether or not it's, if it's really good training or not, how much is it going to cost? We have budget restrictions and things like that. So we have done our best, and we've been pretty successful so far in making that free to the law enforcement agency. We also provide all the equipment whenever they run the operation. So, if there's any type of locations that need to be reserved or anything like that, we cover that as well. And we'll even buy you dinner both nights of the operation. So you will not get to choose, though. It will be our choice.
Whatever Steven
Chuck
shows up
Fathers.
with.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know?
That's right. I feel like we should be sponsored by Subway.
You could be sponsored by Chubb Fathers.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Somebody call me, make that happen. I would absolutely do that.
Yeah.
1,000%. Have you guys worked with the majority of the local law enforcement agencies in the state? Has there been some reluctance? I mean, how's it going for Alabama?
We've been pretty active in Alabama. The only portion of the state, which in 2026 we're gonna get to that portion, has really been the eastern portion of the state, is the only one that we really hadn't been in. And so we've got some training and some operations coming up in that area. But we have worked with, tons of agencies from North Alabama up near the Tennessee line all the way down to Montgomery and below that. So we've worked in a majority of the areas in Alabama. As far as the reluctance goes, I think to an extent you've got to get out there and build some credibility, right? And you've got to have some success. And I think that we're getting to that point right now. Not only that, we've got a pretty good reference list of agencies that we work with that are willing to vouch for us. And so, we have that success and we have that credibility now, and that's helped us out a lot. Pulling some agencies in that at first were like, see how this thing works out before we sign on to it.
I don't want to put the North Alabama agency on blast if I can't, but I mean that those guys up there seem like that should be the first call, like for a reference.
Yeah, we won't put them on blast because they're still running operations, and we want to protect the integrity of that and give them the best chance for success. But working with that agency in particular, it's a rather large agency, but working with that agency in particular has been a great relationship for us. They have come to our training. Not only do we do child sex exploitation, counter trafficking training, we also do, we train. We have a decoy course where agencies that are looking to get into this type of proactive operation can send potential decoys to this course, and we lay all that out for them. As far as how to provide that proof of life, they've taken all of our training and they've implemented it into a pretty successful year so far. They got our initial training in January, and up to this point, I think that they've run about 3 operations, and they have also pulled in some other enforcement methods as far as that area, the human trafficking and child sex exploitation. And I think this year they've arrested 50 individuals.
That's awesome.
Within a 300, about a 365-day period. There's another agency up there that is a slight bit smaller than them, and I want to say within the last 18 months after having our initial training, they have really run with it, and I want to say that they're between 60 and 80 arrests.
Holy cow.
Within the last 18 months.
Now, is that a function of there's just more of that going on in the other area, or they've got more resources dedicated to it, or why is that? Why is there a?
I think that they're just being very proactive about it, and they know how to. So one of the things that you run into, if you give the agency the training, that initial training and operation is normally pretty successful. And so they want to replicate that a lot. But what you have to do is kind of like with anything else, you have to kind of back off and let that breathe a little bit. And so you have to give some time. And they have just perfected the spacing of those operations. And then they have found ways to continuously run many operations to just keep arresting individuals and pulling those bad individuals out of the community.
Now, do they communicate those timeframes back to y'all, and you can kind of work those in, or like almost like a best practices sort of thing? Like, hey, look, to your point, seeing those operations, which I've had the chance to see, which is fantastic. Yeah. I could definitely see where everybody would be like, oh, let's do it again next week.
Yeah.
Let's go, Tuesday, whatever.
Yeah.
And so but it makes sense that I guess you'd end up kind of burning your area or whatever. And
that's one thing that we talked to them about. We talked to them about in the training. We talked to them about press releases. We talked to them about frequency and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that you have to pay. If you want it to continue to be successful, you have to be patient with it, and you just can't be running them, week after week after week.
Okay.
So
that's incredible. Coming up on the top of the hour here, going to pay some more bills. We're joined by Stu from Covenant Rescue Group. Are you hanging out for another hour? Or do you got to bounce?
Let's see. I'll do about another 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then I got to go.
We'll take it. You're listening to The Line with the Taste Buds, JD, Will, Stu, Carrie. Y'all come back, and we'll finish this up.